Does collaborative divorce cost less than a traditional divorce, Jennifer?
For all the reasons that everybody just talked about, you know, it's more efficient, and when we talk about what attorneys charge and what the mental health professionals charge, what everybody charges, I think no matter which process you choose, everybody's charging an hourly rate. So you really want to talk about how can you efficiently use your hours, because time is money, and what is the best outcome you can get from using all that time. I mean, so many people try to talk about issues, and if you've ever been in an argument with your spouse, you go round and round the same issue. There is never an outcome, there's never a solution, but the collaborative process helps, and the coaches, as Barb was saying, helps that get past that impasse, and that is an efficient use of your time. So even though sometimes the collaborative process can seem like I have all these professionals on board, really you're paying other people because it's more efficient. It's more efficient to talk to your coach about the anxiety you're feeling, or the anger that you're feeling because you know your spouse is leaving, or you know I'm worried about how my kids are with the other spouse. You would use your time and money more efficiently talking about a coach who could help you solve those problems, rather than an attorney whose most likely response is there's no court order that's going to make your spouse not be a jerk, or you know, like a judge can't do that for you, and that's not, you know.
And they'll cost a whole lot more for the attorney to tell you that too,
Right.
than a coach would to help you solve it.
Right. Right, and in the legal process, you know, I can't talk with a represented spouse, so I can't even communicate with the other party and say, you know, my client's really having a problem with your behavior, could you please knock it off? And I might tell the other attorney, and the attorney may choose to tell the spouse or address it with them, but, you know, if you guys are not on the same page as we're going to resolve this together, a lot of times in litigation, you say, I'm sorry, I can't do anything about that, and that is the worst thing to tell your clients, is there's nothing I can do. So cost is really relative to your individual situation, though.
And I wanted to add something to that
please.
too. How do you measure cost? Is it just in dollars and cents? My divorce cost X number of dollars. But what about the cost when you have a litigated divorce? What about the cost of therapy for the next 5 decades for your children? What about the cost in human pain and suffering and all of those miserable Christmases where the kids feel torn between one parent and the other? What are the costs of those kinds of things? So how do you measure cost? And I think preserving human health and happiness costs a whole lot less than even if you have more professionals involved.
Well, and I think we talked about it under benefits. It's an investment in families, so you know, the time and money spent on the services of your collaborative professionals are in fact investments in yourself, in your family's future. Another way I like to look at it, and see if you agree or disagree, is that getting the right kind of professional help at the right time is really at the heart of the collaborative team approach.
Sure, well put.
Thank you.
Well, go ahead.
I'm sorry, and the other thing I would add is that if you get the agreement done well and right the first time, then you're not gonna be back in court later on a motion to modify. And perhaps you've even put some contingency planning into your settlement agreement, whereby if one spouse or the other wants to move to, you know, Albuquerque, you've got a plan for that, or you can at least, you've decided to go back to mediation at that point, or whatever that is, because that will help save a lot of costs down the road. I know I myself was in and out of St. Louis County courts for almost 20 years on visitation and changes to child support, and you know, somebody moved, somebody lost a job. It was just a nightmare. It was a nightmare for 18 years, costing me a fortune.
Laura, based on your personal as well as your professional experiences, would you agree that getting your divorce right the first time is priceless?
Yeah, yes, yeah, it's the MasterCard answer.